The following is a Candlepin Stars and Strikes rebroadcast featuring some of our most memorable programs.
Candlepin Stars and Strikes.
Look at this. Look at
Candlepin Stars and Strikes is sponsored in part by Somerville Lumber. Push strut. Push strut. That's the goal. It's a goal. Candlepin Stars and Strikes is produced in conjunction with the New Hampshire Candlepin Bowling Association. And now your hosts, Doug Brown and Dan Murphy.
Hi, everybody, and welcome once again to Candlepin Stars and Strikes. 2 full hours coming up here on the Wind. Glad you could be with us once again. Doug Brown along with Dan Murphy. This begins our final 4-week regular season series of the season. Within the next 4 weeks, we'll know the next qualifier to the Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions, and then it'll be time for it.
That's right. One of these two bowlers hoping they're going to win 4 matches in a row to make that final qualification, but it's a tough road.
It is, although it just happened. If you were with us last week, you know that Neil Gosselin was able to spin off 4 wins in a row. It has not happened in a long time, but now Neil is the latest to get into the Tournament of Champions, and one of these guys hoping to duplicate that feat.
That's right. Got a good mix today. A veteran's been with us many times and won for the first time.
All right, let's meet our 2 bowlers. First of all, our number 5 seed as we move into the new series from Dover, New Hampshire, making his first appearance here with us on Stars and Strikes, Mark Arnold.
Okay, Mark comes in averaging 121, has a high single of 190, and his roll-off score 676.
And Mark, of course, finished 5th in the roll-off with that 676 score. In fact, the man he just beat by 1 pin to get that 5 spot was Steve Vadney, who finished with a 675. So Mark is here in that number 5 spot. He'll bowl our number 4 seeded bowler from Hudson, New Hampshire, Mike Poulin.
Okay, Mike carries an average of 125, high single 199, and his roll-off score 681.
All right, of course, prize money on the line as well, in addition to moving on to try and hope and make it 4 wins in a row. That's what one of these guys has to do if they want to get to the Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions. Don't forget, we've got the bonus ball contest, $80 on the line. That'll be later on in the program. We've got 3 strings of bowling coming up. We'll take a few messages and come right back. Don't go away. All right, let's get you straightened away here as we begin this last regular season series. Here are the 5 gentlemen who've already qualified for the 5th annual Tri-State Megabucks Singles Tournament of Champions. Paul Berger with that huge 464 from earlier in the season. Peter Flynn, Tom Morgan, Bob Mazur in. And last week, Neil Gosselin won his way in with his 4th straight victory, coming from the bottom of the ladder to work his way all the way up into that Tournament of Champions picture. Now, here are the 5 gentlemen you'll be seeing the next 4 weeks. One of these 5 will join that previous group and become our 6th qualifier for the Tournament of Champions. Mark Arnold and Mike Poulin today. The winner gets Bob Kelly next week. Gary Carrington is here in 2 weeks. Rico Baldenelli, making his very first appearance here on the Winds, will be with us in 3 weeks to try and defend that number 1 spot. So, after all of that, we are now ready to go, and stepping to the line first will be Mark Arnold. Mark from Dover, New Hampshire, making his first appearance with us, although it won't be long until he makes his second, because he has also qualified for our doubles series that will be coming up at 1 o'clock today here on the Winds. Ironically, Mark also qualified in the number 5 spot in that series as well with his partner Bill Hart. And at 1 o'clock today here on the Winds, it'll be Mark Arnold and Bill Hart against Ed Markey and Al Harwood. And those of you who stick with us for the whole 2 hours today, and we hope you do, you'll probably hear us make mention of the fact that Mark Arnold is making his first appearance, but of course that is the whole day is his first appearance, 2 shows together. This is actually the first time that he's been on TV here with us.
Well, it could be first time for the singles, and then at 1 o'clock it could be first time for the doubles.
That's true.
Now that we got that squared away, that was clear as mud. And it's a 10, a great 10, too.
So 18 for the opening pair from Mark Arnold. And now the left-hander, Mike Poulin. Mike's been somewhat of a regular here this year.
He's been with us many times, especially this season.
Mostly in doubles competition. In fact, this is only the second time that Mike's been with us in singles. And he almost spares on the 9-pin. He was the number 5 seed back in our first series of the new year in October. Lost a tough match to Brian Uphold. In doubles, Mike has been here a lot this year. In October, again in November, also in January, and then again in mixed doubles just last month.
And it's a big 9-drop. Almost a strike. 4-pin, piece of wood in front. Wants to be to the left of the red line.
Got it.
And it's 20 for Mike, plus that bonus ball next time he gets up. Mark Arnold up for his 3rd and 4th frames.
Again, if you missed it last week, Neil Gosselin completed the run, came up from the number 4 spot, won 4 shows in a row to get into the Tournament of Champions. Last week he threw a 353. That was good enough to beat Bob Whitcomb. But Neil was really on a roll while he was here. 2 of his 3 previous scores were 400 triples. He had a 425 and also a 401 while he was here.
With the last match, 353, which put him in the last qualifying spot right now. 5th place.
Neil is already assured of being in that first match of the Tournament of Champions. It's just a question of what his seeding will be. Mark Arnold right through the middle that time for the spread eagle. Mark and his wife Dee live in Dover. Mark works as a rural carrier for the United States Postal Service. Does a lot of his bowling at the Lamprey River Lanes in Newmarket and at the Exeter Lanes.
I wonder how he made out a few weeks ago during that blizzard. I'll have to ask him about that. I'm sure he has a few war stories. Off target is Mike. Only a 4 fill on the spare. Almost made this shot opposite side last time. Not this time.
A little too full on the head pin that time. Eight, and the early lead for Mike Poulin is 5. A lot happening on that shot, but not enough to take out the 4 and the 10.
Yeah, it's funny, Mike was warming up and he came back to me and said, I've thrown about 12 warm-up boxes. I haven't hit the head pin with the first ball yet. And he's still continuing that way, missing the head pin with the first ball. Good recovery there, but 9-pin stays.
Tournament of Champions competition begins 4 weeks from today, April the 25th. Here on the Winds, 2 full hours for 5 consecutive weeks. Starting April 25th, mark it down on your calendar. The Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions.
Get here early. There'll be a crowd.
Yeah, in fact, we should mention if you'd like to attend the taping of the Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions in person here, the singles tournament at Park Place Lanes in Windham. We'd love to see you. It will be on Tuesday, April the 6th, a week from Tuesday. Tuesday, April the 6th. We'll start at about 9 a.m. and go till about 5 p.m. So anytime during that time, if you're in the neighborhood, we'd love to see you. It's Park Place Lanes, Route 28, Windham, New Hampshire. A very easy drive off I-93. Take exit 3 to Route 111. Route 111 over to Route 28. Take a left on 28 and you're almost there.
Mark completes that for the spare, his first mark of the match. Time Mike got the head pin, just a little light. 3, 5, 6, 10.
Oh, yes. Nice spare for Mike. His second. And here's a look. Mike from Hudson, New Hampshire, dropping 8 on the spare. Mike and his wife Judy have 3 children. Stephen, who's 9, 7-year-old Tommy, and 5-year-old David. Mike works for Metropolitan Life Insurance. He's a regular at the Londonderry Bowling Center.
This wood is angled just right for a left-hander.
Oh, yes.
No problem. Going from left to right, and right on the red line, and let's take a look at that one. Watch the ball carry him off the piece of wood into the 10-pin. Custom made for the left-hander. The ball was going that way anyways. Now Mark will fill the spare.
Oh, big
And
ball.
doesn't he?
Ooh.
Almost our first strike. Just got to negotiate the wood. Either get the pin clean or take a piece of the wood.
Spare it up for Mark Arnold. 2 in a row for him. So all of a sudden, both bowlers catching fire here a bit. $100 to the runner-up today. The winner, of course, comes back next week. This series, the last chance of the year for these bowlers to get into the Singles Tournament of Champions, our 5th annual. The doubles event will be the 2nd annual. Mike Poulin, one of the defending champions in that event, along with Steve Vadney. They won the first one last year. Two marks in a row for Mike. Working on a spare. It'll be 6.
And the 1, 3, 7, 10 left. Piece of wood now rolling next to the 7 or behind the 1 and the 3. Trying to split the 1 and the 3. Looks pretty good. No, a little full in the head pin.
Just a 7 for Mike, so the lead drops to 8. He's opposite that open frame, though. Oh, big first ball that time. Crossed over to the Brooklyn side for the left-hander, and that was a nice tight strike in the 1-3 pocket.
Our first one of the match. As you said, no doubt about that one for Mike Poulin. Final 2 for Mark Arnold now. 84 through 8 for Mark. 1, 3, 7 left for Mark.
No.
'93 through 9. Mike Poulin already at 93 through 8, plus the bonus balls on the strike.
All the action here on Candlepin Stars and Strikes being brought to you in part by the folks at Somerville Lumber, where you can get it right the first time. Somerville Lumber. And by Rockingham Toyota Dodge Nissan. Come to Salem and save. Emmett Horgan and the gang. Route 28, Salem, New Hampshire. Rockingham Toyota Dodge Nissan. And Mark Arnold will settle for a 10 and a 103 opening game. And he can only sit back now and see how large that deficit's going to be.
Mike Poulin working on the strike in the 8th.
A little full that time.
Seems to be zeroing in on the head pin now with that first ball. 2, 3, 6, 7 left for Mike. Double piece of wood behind 3 and a 6.
Oh, yes.
Nicely done.
I don't think he needed it.
No.
Let's see what the replay shows. Looked like he got it cleanly.
Yeah, the ball hits the... No. Pin just jumped right over there. Would have got it without the wood in the back. No problem. Spare on strike. 7 more. 120 now through 9.
Now he's got a cut shot going the other way.
2, 4, 6.
One more time. Oh, almost. Almost. You could tell by Mike's reaction that he knew it was going to be close. No, Mike will take an 8, a 128, and he will carry a 25-pin lead into Game 2. When we come back, we will have Game 2 and also tell you about our bonus ball contest. Coming up, don't go away. All right, Mike Poulin set to go to begin our second game.
I know one thing. Mark Arnold wouldn't have delivered it.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Put the stamp on.
Oh, it's kind of a shame. It's a nice postcard of the Manhattan skyline, but
I thought it was Windham. Quick look.
I was just there a couple of weeks ago. Trust me, it looks a little different.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That's where we talk about the blizzard. That's where I was during the blizzard. I was in Manhattan for the Big East basketball tournament, and I'll tell you something. You've never seen anything until you've seen a blizzard in New York.
They have 2-inch blizzards all the time, don't they?
Yeah, and they can't handle those. So you can imagine what this was like. A 10 for Mike Poulin to start Game 2.
No problems in New Hampshire.
Oh, none at all.
Unbelievable. Did a great job with the roads. 6-10 left for Mike. And for his first mark of the second match. Second string, I should say.
Ooh,
leading by 25.
Just missed it.
Pair of 10s. Something for Mark Arnold to work on if he were to throw a mark or two up there. Cut into that 25-pin deficit.
Brooklyn pocket. The 6-7-10.
See if he goes after the 6-10 or uses the wood. Now he's going to try to split the 6-10 and very nearly did. Good effort by Mark Arnold. Going to try to grab one now and move over to lane 31.
We'll do that. Think we've seen the end of the snow now, finally?
We hope so. I've been shining the golf clubs up. There's the first strike for Mark, and a good one. Couldn't come in a better time. Just a matter of time before that 9-pin went down.
The way you've been talking lately, I thought you were going to try and figure out a way to play golf on skis.
Yeah, I've got the skiing fever.
Dan's a new skier, folks. He's found a new sport to excel in.
Yeah, my bowling's starting to slip, so maybe I'll... A little less dangerous out there in the lanes, though.
For you or for other people?
Both.
Another 10 for Mike Poulin.
Pitting well.
Happy people up the skiing area operators this winter. No question about that, and they deserved it after the last couple of years. Oh, big strike for Mike.
Puts one up in the 4th frame, his second strike of the match. Again, just tripping the 6-pin. Mark Arnold now to work on his strike in the second. Little full, 3-6, 4-7.
No, tried it inside, missed it. Just a 6 on the strike. And the 7 for Mark. So after all that, he's taken only 2 pins off the lead.
And that's the good news. The bad news, he's facing a strike now in the 4th, already posted by Mike Poulin.
Full again. Catches what may be a break, depending on where that wood settles up.
He's got the 4-6-10. He's going to have to go after the 4-pin, but almost capped the wood on the right-hand tip and used the second piece for the 6-10. That's what he's trying to do. Oh, just jumped over that piece of wood.
And the 9 for Mark. We will pause. When we return, Mike Poulin will step up to fill that strike in the 4th. He's got the lead here in week 1 of our final series. All right, Mike Poulin with a strike in the 4th, trying to add to his lead.
And he'll shoot at the 3-6-4-7. Both bowlers seem to be coming just a little heavy on the head pin, not taking out that extra pin or two. 7 fill and a strike for Mike.
And the 9. Mike overall making his 20th appearance here on the Winds today. 10 and 9 over the years. Oh, almost.
Certainly like to make it 14 and 9.
Well, what would the odds be against 2 bowlers in a row doing it? I don't know.
I know, it's been so long since we've had that happen, and then to expect it 2 ladders in a row, I don't know. Just sliding by that 9 pin, almost got that for the 10. Mark Arnold, 2 open frames to work on, trailing by 31 now.
Oh, Mark may get a break here. Let's see. Nope, the 5 pin looked like it might fall into the pile, but it didn't.
Still may be a break because it's off the spot. No, not enough to carry the 6-10.
And just a 9. So the lead now 31 for Mike Poulin, halfway through the match. And right through the center. It could have been a lot worse.
He knew it as soon as he let the ball go, kind of threw his hand up like he knew that was going to be full. 3-6-10, it's all right, but he's also got the 2 pin. So he can't take advantage of the 2 open frames by Mike Poulin.
Mention the fact that we've got a few veterans here in this series. Mike, of course, one of them making his 20th appearance. Next week, Bob Kelly will make his 20th appearance here on the Winds. His record is also 10 and 9. And the week after that, Gary Carrington will make his 18th appearance. So our number 1 seed, as we showed you at the top of the show, Rico Baldenelli from Amesbury, Mass. He'll be making his very first appearance and trying to get into the Tournament of Champions on his first try.
Certainly has a name recognition.
Oh, strike on spare for Mike Poulin. And just like that, 20 more with possibilities after that as he'll work on a strike the next time he steps up, kicking out the 6 pin. Mike steps up and only throws the ball 3 times and goes spare strike.
And Mark Arnold looking at the 1-2-4-6-10. Oh, that close. Well, let's see. That would turn. Well, wood may roll back against this 10 pin, but doesn't happen. $10 for Mark. 69 through 7.
Talking about the blizzard, and it's actually apropos for this series here on Stars and Strikes because the final roll-off for this series was held on the weekend of the blizzard 2 weeks ago. And believe it or not, well over half of the...
Oh, nice spare.
Great spare for Mark, and he needed it too. Build his confidence a little bit after the half. Worcester plays it on the head pin just a little off to the right and converts it for the mark. Now Mike Poulin coming up working on a strike. There were supposed to be, I believe, somewhere in the neighborhood of 65 bowlers at the final roll-off.
I think it was more than that. I think it was like 80.
Was it that
yeah,
many?
And I think they got 60.
Okay, I knew it was well over half. And that was on the day of and the day after the blizzard, of course, because the storm was on a Saturday. The roll-offs are held Saturday and Sunday. All of
Show
that
must go on.
All of that, by the way, at the Bowlerama in Portsmouth. And we want to thank Nick Janamitis and his fine staff over there. For all of their help in assisting us with the roll-off, especially under trying conditions.
Be a little nerve-wracking too, knowing are we going to keep power, or are we going to lose electricity, or. But Nick Janamitis and the entire crew, we congratulate you people.
A 10 for Mike Poulin, a 125 middle game. He had a 128 opener, so a 253 two-game total, and Mark Arnold is hoping to take advantage of those 2 open boxes that Mike left for him. Try and cut into this gap a bit. Fills his spare with 6. And no on the 10 pin. Well, unless he marks here in the 10th, Mark will trail by more than 40 in the match going into the 3rd and final game. Right through the center again. Boy, when he's been on the head pin, good things haven't necessarily happened. Mark takes the 8, a 102, a 2-game total 205. So Mike Poulin with the big lead, but there is 1 game to go. We've seen stranger things happen before here on Stars and Strikes. We'll be back. Don't go away. There's Mark Arnold, ready to toe the line for Game 3 here on Stars and Strikes. He's in a bit of a pickle.
Got some work ahead of him.
That many pickles, in fact. 48. It's not getting any easier. The 1, 7, 8, and 10.
Oh, wow. Missed the 7 pin entirely, jumped the 8 pin up in the air and came back down.
And the 9 box. Let's take a look.
Three, 6, 4, 7, 8. Piece of wood in behind the 3 and the 6 could help him.
Yes! Gets it. And Mark surrenders to the pins.
This is pretty tough to make your living making these shots, I'll tell you. That's a great shot by Mark Arnold, and both bowlers have a lot of cut shots to try to make today, carrying that extra pin.
Oh.
Okay, let's have a shot at this one. The 1, 8, 9 are gone. Spread eagle plus the 5 pin in the middle.
Nine box for Mike. A little full again. The result not quite as scary this time.
2, 4, 7. and the 6-pin. Piece of wood behind the 4 and 7, also on just to the right of the 2-pin.
Mike knew he had missed it. You could just tell by his body language as soon as he let it go. So a chance for Mark Arnold to gain some pins here in the second box. He's already gained 1, and he'll gain whatever he gets on this spare fill. You see, he trails by 47, less the fill on this spare. Oh, big first ball, and yes! Gets them all for the strike. He needed that. Could use a double.
Well, double, it's a brand new ball game, or just about. Quickly erased 10 of those pins. Lead is now 37. Looking for the double.
Little heavy that time.
And he's been heavy. If there's one lane in particular he's been heavy on, it's been lane 31. 4, 7, 10. 3 pieces of wood. Looks like 2, but there's a double piece there down the center of the lane. Look, oh, almost capped that, and watch out. Not hard, well, it is hard enough to take one more.
So that's a 9 on the strike. Mark would have preferred another mark, but he'll take the 10, 58 through 4. Mike Poulin, he'll work on the 5 and the 8.
5 and the 8, piece of wood right next to the 5. Got to try to avoid that. Get the 5 and 8 clean. Uh-oh.
Ooh, got the cap and the 5-pin. The 8 is still there.
Saw it just as he let the ball go.
I'll tell you what, if Mike doesn't mark in this 4th box, the lead will be under 30. With 6 boxes to go. Oh my, do you believe that? Twice in 4 boxes. The 189.
Suppose he's going a little full on the head pin. That's that close.
Wow, what a shot. Leaves the 2-pin.
The last time he had it, he threw on the 3-6 side and just missed clipping the 3-pin. This time he gets it, leaves nothing but the 2.
And it's still there, so the lead has gone from 48 down to 27. We'll take a look at that near great spare by Mike Poulin as we go to break. We'll come back and see if Mark Arnold can finish this comeback. Okay, Mark Arnold. First time on Stars and Strikes. Finds himself trailing, but he has almost cut the lead in half in the first 4 boxes of this 3rd game. See what happens from here. Not quite.
Missed the object, which is the head pin that time, and cleared away everything else.
And it's still there. Oh, great ball. You could almost tell that would be a strike before it hit the pins.
You call it halfway down.
We're right behind lane 31, and we had a great look at that one.
Just tripping that 4-pin.
Mike Poulin comes back with almost one of his own, leaving the 5-pin.
This shot's twofold. Get your confidence back and put a little more pressure on your opponent, because he's making a serious run at Mike Poulin right now.
There's the mark. That's a big one right there. Well, Mike had a couple of near misses on spares earlier in the game. Of course, he nearly made that great shot after chopping the 189, and then he got robbed on the 5-8 when he capped a piece of wood. So he gets that first mark in this game up there.
55 now through 5 boxes.
Let's see about this one. Oh, that wood flew over there, but it looked like it went behind the 7-pin.
He just caught a little bit of the wood. He wanted to get the 6-pin clean, and very nearly did that.
10 box for Mike. Let's take a look at that.
Just caught a little bit. Threw it behind the 7.
Well, Mark Arnold's working on a strike, so as we mentioned a moment ago, the possibility of the double is always there.
It's getting to that point where you really would need one. Light hit, let's see. Wants at least a 10-pin to go.
It won't.
And the angle of that wood next to the 5, I think if he hits the 2-pin, that wood is going to miss the 10-pin.
5-pin is way off the spot. Let's see. No, he missed it. The lead is at 28 right now, but of course down to just 4 boxes to go, and now 3 as Mark leaves the open in the 7th.
Well, 28 pins is really 3 tremendous marks. I mean, big fills, so he's going to have to mark out and hope Mike Poulin doesn't.
Well, there's another strike. Wow.
That lane, I said
3
he's having
strikes in
trouble
this.
on.
3 strikes in this game. None of them have been together, though, or this could be a different story.
Ever since I said he was having trouble on lane 31, coming in full, he's thrown strikes.
Mike Poulin off the head pin. He'll shoot at the 4 horsemen left with wood. And he's got it. Critical spare right there. Mike doing everything he can to keep this match from getting dramatic at the end. That'll be a 6-fill, and a rather bizarre one at that.
Well, it's going to go after the 6-10. If he can catch the 6-pin and have the ball, or preferably split him, got a shot. No, too full on the 6.
$9.90 through 8. Mark Arnold is at 103 plus the strike fill.
Really needs a double.
Well, since he's halfway there, this would be the time to do it. On lane 32, let's see. Nope, a little too full. Shot at the spare, though. On the 2, 4, and 10.
That would still keep his hopes alive.
Oh,
No.
He went left. And it might have been there.
Well, he threw his hands up. He said, if I got that 3-pin, I had a shot, and it certainly looked like he would have gotten the spare.
Well, Mark has bounced back with a nice third game here, but it looks like it won't be enough. And Mark just lost that one. And he'll take the 10, a 131. A 3-game total, 336. Mike Poulin already has this one in the bank. We will have a rare battle of left-handers next week.
That's right. Bob Kelly coming in.
I don't know if that doesn't happen very often on television. 2 left-handed bowlers. Mike with the 10. He's at 353 plus 1 more box to go. Mike with 10 marks in the match. And we're going to have that piece of wood checked. Rolling out in front of the 610. Of course, it will not affect the match at all, but Cindy Sissom will go down to check it, and that'll give me time to remind you that if you'd like to attend the taping in person of the Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions, Mark this date on your calendar here at Park Place Lanes. The singles tournament of champions will be taped a week from Tuesday, April 6th. Oh, nice spare for Mike Poulin in the 10th after that illegal wood was removed. Tuesday, April the 6th. We'll go from about 9 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon with a break for lunch in between. So if you're anywhere in the neighborhood, do stop by and say hello, and you can catch the action live here at Park Place Lanes. The 8 fill for Mike Poulin and a 371 as he records a 118 in the third and final game. 371 to 336. Mike Poulin advances, and we will advance to our bonus ball contest and chat with the bowlers in a minute. Welcome back, everybody, here on Candlepin, Stars and Strikes. Don't forget, we've got an hour of doubles competition immediately following from the Londonderry Bowling Center here on the Winds. And in today's match, it was a question of Mike Poulin, the veteran, getting out to the quick start early, and he was able to make the lead hold up. Yeah, Mark just couldn't get on track till that last game. He's having trouble going full, and even when he didn't seem to carry that extra pin until that last game, but just too much from the handle. Kind of ironic, though. He had three strikes, Mark Arnold did in that third game. If any of those come together, could be a different match. Absolutely. He made some nice spare shots, too, in the end, and they just had to put two of them in a row together, and it just didn't happen. All right, let's meet our two bowlers. First of all, a round of applause for Mark Arnold. Come on up, Mark. After his first appearance here on Stars and Strikes, congratulations. It just really didn't fall for you today until the third game.
Yeah, I was pressing the first two strings. I couldn't find my mark on lane 32, and after the third string, I got a little more relaxed because it was so far out of reach. I just figured I'd shoot the ball, see what happened. Well, yeah, very nearly came up, as I just said a moment ago, with a double strike, and of course that could have changed it around real quickly. Oh, definitely. I was shooting for a triple all the way. I wanted to apply a little bit of pressure, but make him work a little bit, but it didn't work out that way. Well, of course, this is only the first hour of two for you today. You'll be here immediately following on doubles, so good luck there, and we have a check for you for $100 for a consolation prize here, and good luck next hour. We'll talk to you again then. Thanks. All right. Thank you. That's Mark Arnold. Congratulations to Mark. And now Mike Poulin to roll our bonus ball. $80 in the bonus ball contest, and let's see if we can come up with a winner. We've got a lot of cards here in the TV. We've been inundated with mail lately. And the count is 8, and it is not a match for Miss V. Majewski, or Majeski, from Revere, Mass. And Miss Majeski chose 5, so she'll be receiving a consolation gift. And it says, "Hi, Mike," on here. No, it doesn't. So Miss Majeski will be receiving a consolation gift from TV50 and from the NHCBA. And Michael, congratulations. Kind of a workmanlike effort. You got it done early, got the lead, and really the key marks in the third game to just keep the pressure on.
As you said, if you threw a triple in a row, we would have had a ball game. But it's been a while since I've won on this show. It was nice for a change. I'm usually behind 48 pins with 1 to go. It was nice. Well, now,
we were just talking about the fact that next week we're going to have 2 left-handers on. That doesn't happen on television very often.
Not very often. Bob Kelly's a good bowler.
We're looking forward to that match, and I know you are too. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. I'll be here.
Mike Poulin, congratulations for the win. And here is a look at the way we sit now in this series here on Stars and Strikes. Mike Poulin, the number 4 seed. Remember, it was the 4th seed, Neil Gosselin, who just finished winning 4 matches in a row last week. Mike Poulin on the way to do the same. We'll see. He's got competition to come, tough competition, in Bob Kelly starting next week.
Oh, he's 1/4 of the way there. He needs 3 more, but he has got a tough road. There's some quality bowlers coming in next week. Bob Kelly, and the following week Gary Carrington, and then Rico. So he's got his work cut out for him.
All right, don't forget, stay tuned because we've got Stars and Strikes doubles coming up in just a few minutes from the Londonderry Bowling Center. Mark Arnold will be back, this time with his partner Bill Hart. They will take on the team of Ed Markey and Al Harwood. Until then, for Dan Murphy and the whole TV50 Sports crew, I'm Doug Brown. Take care.